Hi everyone, this is Leslie from Rich Packing. In today's video, we'll show you how to install, test, and adjust the shrinking sleeve labeling machine. Let's get started.
Now we'll show you how to change the molds. These two red are label feeding rollers. When loosen the roller, remember to hold the tube in case it falls. Take out the feeding tube. Remove the air pipe. Remove the iron bar. It's used to eliminate static electricity. The control box is installed on the back of the cabinet. Shake the handwheel and loosen the cutter belt. Be careful not to let it collide. Loosen the cutter module and remove it. Loosen the screws and remove the cover. Remove the plate and replace the blades. The blade is sharp. Remember to wear gloves to prevent cuts. Now you can put on the blade with required length. Make sure the blade doesn't get in the way of the rotation of the feeding tube. Put the cover back on. This is the communication terminal of the cutter module. Make sure the communication terminal is fully connected to prevent poor contact. Secure the cutting unit. Connect the air pipe. Install the iron bar. Install the belt that's synchronized with the cutting. Turn the handwheel to adjust the belt tension, then secure it. Put the feeding tube back. Turn the handwheel to align the tube and the roller. The tube and the rollers shouldn't be too close. Different handwheels for different rollers. These two shouldn't be too tight against each other. Turn the downside handwheel to align the lower rollers with the tube. also can be too tight against each other. Adjust the upper hand wheel to control the height of the lower roller, keeping it level with the center of the tube. Turn this hand wheel to adjust the bottle clamping belt so it can clamp the bottle. Open the cabinet. The hand wheel here can adjust the height of the bottle clamping belt.
Now we take off the bottle separating roller. Loosen the screws.
Take off the right block. Take off the left block. Now you take it off. If we want to install it, put the left block back. Then the right one. Now we've done installing it.
Turn the hand wheels here can adjust the roller's position. Now we put the label in position. Press the plate against the label roll firmly and then secure it.
The label should be in the middle. Slip the label onto the tube.
Turn the auxiliary wheel to guide the label down. Adjust the tension of the label feeding roller
so that it rotates without slipping on the label. We've finished the installation part. Now let's move on to the control section. This is the power switch. This is the emergency stop. This controls the bottle separating speed. It decides the distance between each bottle. This is the speed control for the bottle clamping belt. It helps control the bottle speed and positioning. This controls the speed of the conveyor belt. The speed of the conveyor belt and the bottle clamping belt should be aligned. Turn on the power switch. Select the language. Enter the automatic mode screen. Tap the start button. The machine starts to work. Tap the stop button and the machine stops working. Production speed refers to the output per minute right now. Production quantity refers to how many bottles has been done and it can be reset.
Clear fault refers to clear alarms and resumes normal operation.
The up and down of the cutting unit controls the distance between the bottles and the label. When downing the cutting unit, be careful not to cause collision.
There are two ways to decide the cutting length. Tap sensor can change length through sensor or by fixed length. This is the parameter of the fixed length. Sensor means cutting the length by sensing the position of the cursor. Rotate the hand wheel to adjust the height of the sensor to align with the cutting position. This is the sensor that triggers cutting. The cutting position is properly aligned. Change the number here to change the cutting length. Cut the label according to the set length. Now we'll show you how to set the sensor. When it detects the transparent position, the red value is 4000. When it's at non-transparent place, the red value is lower. Tap the plus and minus button to set the green value at 2500. Move the label until when it's the transparent place, the red value is higher than the green value, and the top light turned on.
Enter the manual mode screen. Tap the bottle separating to start the bottle separating roller. Tap the bottle clamping. The bottle clamping belt starts to work. Tap lower to start the fan. This function is also optional. Tap underbrush, the lower wheel starts to rotate. Tap conveyor, the conveyor belt starts to work. Tap label sender and the label starts feeding. Tap label cutting to start cutting the label. Tap parameters. These are preset data and no need to change. These are PLC signals.
Now it's time for the electric heating tunnel. This is the main power switch. The starting order is the start switch, fan switch, and the temperature control power supply. Shutdown sequence: turn off the temperature controller and wait for it to cool down, then turn off the fan. After setting the temperature, tap Set to save it. Red number means the temperature now, and the green one is your set temperature. Now we've done the controlling part, it's time for the testing part. Put bottles in to adjust the bottle separating roller. Now the bottles can pass through smoothly. Adjust the distance between the bottles and the label. Adjust the cutting trigger sensor to aim at the center of the bottle cap. Rotate the hand wheel to make the belt clamp the bottles. The speed of the conveyor belt should be the same with that of the clamping belt. Start the machine and put in bottles to test. The bottle is moving faster ahead of the intended position. Move the cutting trigger sensor a little left. Test again.
Stop the machine. Adjust the distance between the bottle and the label. To prevent collisions, first lower the bottle clamping belt assembly. Then the cutting unit. Be careful not to cause collision.
Adjust the position of the cutting trigger sensor again. Put in bottles to test. Loosen the screws can adjust the height of the pressing plate. Turn on the label pressing plate controller and adjust the speed. The pressing plate is used to organize the label. Set the temperature of the pre-shrinking fan.
Now we've done the adjustment, let's put some bottles in to test it. Now the sleeves has wrapped tightly around the bottle cap.